Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to our lessons. Our lesson for today is Module 4, Project 2. Let's get started. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to write a notice about rules at a specific place. Off we go. Let's start our lesson with a warm-up activity. I want to check. Do you still remember? Do you still remember yesterday's notice? What was it about?
It was about rules at the library.
Excellent. Can you please read the title for me?
At the library.
Excellent. Perfect. Do you like stories?
Yes.
Okay, we will watch a video to answer the following questions. Question number 1. What did Red Riding Hood learn from the book? Number 2. Can you recall the writing process? Let's watch together. Little Red Riding Hood. All of us know only one day of Little Red Riding Hood's life, when she met the wolf on her way to her grandmother's house. Let's see what happened to her when she came back home. When Red came home, she had to finish her writing homework. She held her copybook and her pencil, but she didn't know where to start. She looked around. She found a book called How to Write. She decided to open it and go inside. She walked and walked between the words until she came to a big pre-writing tree. Inside the tree was a beautiful garden full of jewels. Each jewel had an idea. She stood up and said, "I want the perfect one." But a strange voice said, "Don't wait for the perfect idea. Just get started." She gathered as many jewels' ideas as her basket could hold. She left the pre-writing tree and kept walking with her jewels. After a while, she found a beautiful garden. It was the drafting garden. She sat beside the river and started to pick up her jewels one by one and write about each one. She wrote and wrote with excitement until her basket was empty. Red took all her papers and kept moving. On her way down, she found the wise owl. "Welcome to the revising and editing world. Let me read what you wrote," said the owl. Red felt shy and hid her paper behind her back and said, "It's full of mistakes." "Owl, you might feel that you are making mistakes, but that doesn't matter. All of us make mistakes every time we write. Take these glasses and read it again with fresh eyes. Don't forget to use your arms to edit your writing." She put on the glasses and started to revise her work and make it better using arms strategy. Then she waved her hands and said goodbye to the owl. Next, she came to a beautiful place full of colorful butterflies. Each one held a punctuation mark. Some of them had capital letters. They started to fall like raindrops. Red took some and added them to her writing. When she finished, she walked until she reached a hill. Under the hill, there were many people clapping and asking her to read. She was so confident now to read in front of them all. She read it all. The people cheered for her. She discovered a lot in the writing book. She learned that writing is so easy when she knows the writing process. Pre-writing, gathering ideas, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. The end. Do you like the story?
Yes.
Okay, question number 1. What did Red Riding Hood learn from the book?
She learned that writing is so easy when you know the writing process.
Excellent! She learned that writing is so easy when you know the writing process. Can you recall the writing process?
Pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing.
Perfect! Let's remember them. Pre-writing, that means gathering ideas about the topic. Number 2, drafting. Drafting is write your first draft. Number 3 is revising. Revising means you make your writing better. Number 4, editing. When you check your spelling, punctuation, and grammar. 5, which is the publishing, when you share your writing with your friends. Do you remember yesterday? Yesterday we gathered some of our ideas and jewels when we read the notice about at the library. We gathered more ideas, do you remember?
Yes.
What?
At the museum and in the classroom.
Excellent. Today we are going to choose a different place and write a notice about what we must or mustn't do there. When we read this notice at the library, we talked about the elements of writing the notice, and we said that we are going to think about the place, which is going to be our title. Do you remember what else? We have to think about rules you must do there and rules you mustn't do. Let's try it together. Look at this picture. What can you see?
I can see a teacher.
Perfect. What else?
I can see students.
Great. Where are they?
They are in the classroom.
Let's choose classroom as our place.
Yes.
Now look at these rules. Be quiet, eat, drink, listen to your teacher, and run. Our place is classroom. We are going to classify these rules under must or mustn't. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's start with the first one. Be quiet.
Must.
Perfect. What about eat?
Mustn't.
You mustn't eat. Drink?
Mustn't.
You mustn't drink. Listen to your teacher?
Must.
Excellent. You must listen to your teacher. Run?
Mustn't.
You mustn't run. Perfect. You did a great job. Now, after we classified them, we are going to write them in a full sentence. I need you to open your workbook, page 51. We will do exercise number 1 together. Look and write what you must and mustn't do in the classroom. I will do number 1 and you can do the rest. Number 1, be quiet. You must be quiet. Now pause the video and do the rest. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, number 2.
You mustn't eat.
Excellent. Number 3.
You mustn't drink.
Perfect. Number 4.
You must listen to your teacher.
Excellent. What about number 5?
You mustn't run.
Great. If you did them correct, put a star for yourself. Now, let's go to the drafting garden. In drafting part, we are going to organize our ideas. To do so, we will move into an activity that will help us to put our ideas together, but this time we are not going to add numbers to our sentences. I want you please to open your workbook, page 51, This time we will do exercise number 2 together. Now, think of a different place, then stick or draw signs and write a notice about what you must or mustn't do there. Then present it to the class. Here, I want you to remember what the owl said. All of us make mistakes when we write, so don't think about them. We will check them later. Do you remember our place? The classroom. We are going to write about something you must do there and something you mustn't do. Let's go back to exercise number 1 where we gathered our ideas. Number 1, you must be quiet. So, we will write it here. Number 2, you mustn't eat or drink. Where are we going to write it? Of course, under mustn't. You mustn't eat. Let's do number 3. You mustn't drink. Let's go to number 4. You must listen to your teacher. And finally, number 5. You mustn't run. We write it here. Now we are in the revising and editing world. Remember here, we're going to put on our glasses and we will use our arms to edit our work. Remember, A for add sentences or words. R for remove unneeded words or sentences. M for move a sentence or word placement. And S for substitute boring words for new words, wow words. Let's start with letter A for add, and let's add something else. You must be quiet. Why?
To understand better.
Great, let's add it to understand better. Do you want to add prepositions? You mustn't eat.
Or.
Great, let's use letter R for remove. Here we are going to remove the unneeded words. Let's find them. We have you must, so no need to write it again. Remove it. We have you must again, so no need for you must. Remove it. What about you mustn't? We already have you mustn't, so no need for the repetition. Say goodbye. What about you mustn't? It's here again, so no need for these two. Remove them. What about the title? At in the classroom? Let's remove at. Now let's use letter M. You must be quiet. So be quiet should be moved out. To understand better. I think now it is a sentence. What about listen to your teacher? Let's move it up. You mustn't. Let's move eat or drink. And also we have to move the word run. We mustn't run. Now we will use S for substitute.
What does substitute mean?
That means you are going to replace the boring words with wow words. Let me do one for you. For example, eat. Let's remove it and have a new one. You mustn't chew any food. What about run? Can you substitute or replace it with another one?
You mustn't race.
Great, you mustn't race. This is the editing time. Let's use the cups to edit our writing. Let's start with letter C for capitalization. All our sentences start with capital letter. But what about this T? It shouldn't be capital letter because it is not the beginning of the sentence. So it should be the small letter. Now, letter P for punctuation. What is missing in our sentences? Oh, the full stop. We should add a full stop at the end of each sentence. Now we will use letter S for spelling. Is there any spelling mistakes? Listen to your teacher. It's the publishing time. Now, open your English notebook to write your notice neatly without any mistakes. All the people are waiting to hear from you. Thank you for watching. I hope you like the lesson.